Civitavecchia, with its 52,244 inhabitants, is a town placed on the Roman coast. Overlooking the Tyrrhenian Sea, its history is tied to seafaring and trade. Its port, one of the most important in Italy, is a major passenger terminal for the maritime links with Sardinia, Sicily, and throughout the motorway of sea, Barcelona, Tunis, Toulon, Malta, and Corsica. Due to the large influx of cruise ships, the port of Civitavecchia is today the second stop for annual number of passengers in transit. But these dates are not the reasons why today, unfortunately, the attention is focused on this city, but the problems related to the disquieting smoke that darkened the skies of Civitavecchia in recent time, the result of any malfunction infiltration system of fumes from coal power plants that disfigure the air, are among the realities that ruin the lives of citizens of the town and are focal points of research project Secoa in the area.
Civitavecchia si vede a occhio.
Just a gaze for those arriving by sea or highway to immediately recognize what the province of Civitavecchia is. Very close to the city center, there are the great chimneys of power plants. A full emission from power at tightly controlled is inevitable, that there is air pollution, a problem that exists in Civitavecchia since the end of the Second World War, when it was built the first coal plant. But why the plants are so close to town? The port of Civitavecchia was severed images during the Second World War. To provide new employment opportunities and economic development for the city, the United States have donated the first power plant in a place which is near the airport to facilitate coal transportation, where there is access to large amounts of water and in a central location for distributing energy to Italy. The plant in recent decades has offered many jobs, and so there is a conflict between the benefits of thermal generation and environmental quality.
Mobility, sustainability, and environmental factor, on the contrary, has arrived in Civitavecchia. The idea, promoted by Sapienza Rome University and funded by European Commission under the 7th framework in agreement with the municipality, is structured to ensure a sustainable development throughout global issues. Mobility, tourism, and climate change affected coastal cities. The Commissioner of Environment Civitavecchia, Leonardo Roscioni, and Professor Armando Montanari agree. We must reverse the situation and turn into resources the problem of the city. For example, minimize the environmental impact that can have the pollution of public transport, for instance, using steel in testing phase, waiting for the authorization of competent authorities, or port electrification to reduce cruise ships emissions and provide cleaner air quality in Civitavecchia.
La Sapienza sta studiando dei motori ad idrogeno.
The Sapienza University engineers are developing an hydrogen engine that will develop producers for the use of alternative and renewable energizers. Hydrogen base is being built to allow to offer a proposal for model of alternative and sustainable cities to those who come to visit the city. Many of the 3 million cruise passengers passing each year in Civitavecchia can they enjoy a mode of transport and sustainable development which will become a tourist research.
Air, marine pollution and contamination related to the mobility of tourists. In addition to the traffic of passenger and freight, in recent years has also added the cruise traffic. The Port Authority had in 2011 about 2 million passengers and 4,015, while in 2008 amounted to 924 vessels moored, with an increase of 7.9% over 2007. It is necessary to keep the engine of ships that are now part of the local geography live day and night with no stop. It is perhaps worth asking questions about what happens to some species of marine fauna typical of the area now increasingly rare. On this shore of the Tyrrhenian Sea, now hidden riches lost treasures such as Posidonia. Why? Air pollution has been the target of the environmental forces that follow the issues related to the city. According to the first data available in 2010, would be about 6.7 million tons of carbon dioxide being emitted from the center. Even for the new generation plant, it's difficult to fall below the 770 grams of CO2 produced per kilowatt hour. What is missing is a common understanding of the future.
Se Civitavecchia venisse lasciata sola,
Civitavecchia, if it were left alone, what would happen?
I cittadini di Civitavecchia sono bellicosi perché vivendo sotto
The citizens of Civitavecchia have learned the hard way to be belligerent to safeguard the right to good quality of air and good quality of life. In August 2011, the high heat and lack of ventilation have also highlighted the air pollution caused by engines of ferries and cruise ships that remain for hours with engines running waiting to leave. The citizens are alarmed, and their slogan is "Nobody shall sleep," as in Puccini's Turandot opera.
Building alternative scenarios and plan is the work of Secoa. But the project is also information. To prove it, there is a part devoted to the disclosure of a test in elementary school to communicate the goals of the initiative and especially to the children, involving them throughout dialogues and reflection on the problems with promoting the activities of monitoring and environmental